Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Hi, everyone.
Excited to be back with you guys. I just got back a few hours ago from Atlanta. We've been there for 5 days, so it's been a little rush, but I'm super excited for tonight. Dom is back with lives. He's been gone from them for a while. If you guys do not know him, Dom has helped me throughout the years to grow my channel. Very much appreciated. And I think his thrifting battle helped me too. Me and George were the top two on that years ago, the Antique Nomad. So those were fun days. So I'm super excited to have him back. And Chaz filled in for Sonny for us not long ago. And now he is here as a guest as well. So super excited. And Sonny's back. 2 weeks in a row, we got Sonny. So we're excited about that too. So I am going to make Dom and Chaz big and let them introduce themselves. And then we will get to, we've got a few super chats and then we'll get to the questions as well. So, so here, sorry, I saw Cheryl's question. They're sad they don't see your hair, Sonny. All right, here is Dom.
Hey, everyone. I'm Dominic, Primetime Treasure Hunter. I have been reselling on eBay since 99-ish. And I specialize in comic books, but I sell everything and anything pretty much. Lots of ephemera, toys, signs, you name it. I've been getting into all sorts of different niches, even, believe it or not, ever since the thrifting battle we had on my channel. Some glassware and some potteryware every now and then. So you never know what you're going to see on my channel. I source at all sorts of different places, but most recently, I've been focusing more on estate sales. I do this part-time. I work full-time as a neuropsychologist, and the last 2 years, I was president of a large nonprofit organization in my profession, which is why I was away from live shows and doing different types of videos over the last 2 years because I couldn't really go to the estate sales. But I used to go on Kat's show a lot, and I promised her that once my 2-year term was up, I would come back on her show, and sure enough, here I am. So, Kat, you know I'm a man of my word.
That I do. All right, here's Chaz.
Hey everybody, my name is Chaz over at Side Hustle Network. Wife and I currently in Texas sell on eBay full-time, a lot of shoes and clothing. I definitely love electronics and collector's items, but they're a lot tougher to find down here. Up in Oregon, we also own and operate a fulfillment center for Amazon sellers as well.
Perfect. All right, let's do it. Elena was first, my good friend, who's here local. She has a YouTube too, Treasure Deep at Thrift. She said, happy Tuesday, everyone. Looking forward to tonight. And she always gets my kitty cat super chat. So here you go. Dom, I forgot. I have like 20 super chats now. It's crazy.
I remember the dolphin days.
I still have that one. I play it occasionally, but now there's like 20 of them. So,
I'm gonna have to retire mine.
No, we're not retiring, Sonny. I'll play that for the next super chat after my turtle. Dawn became a YouTube member. So if you guys don't know, I have memberships from $1.99 up. We did store reviews last Thursday. And then we do live sourcing and live shipping too. So you can hit the join if you want to learn about that or message me. And this is my favorite one. Gino, I need a regular super chat like this so I can play it more. All right, here's my turtle. We went to the Atlanta aquarium. I didn't even get to see a turtle. I didn't get to see a turtle, but we saw a whale shark, and that was pretty cool. All right. Mary Montgomery, happy to see you in here. She said she loves the reseller live chats. Mary's been around for a long time as well. We got to do Sonny here because Dom hasn't seen Sonny, so here's Sonny.
That's great.
Definitely the best.
Now you guys got to taste the Sonny's hair since you're missing it, since he's got it tucked under the hat tonight.
It was long. Before I cut it, I measured it, and it was 28 inches.
Oh, man.
We still have video proof of it. We still have the video proof. I don't know. I don't know how. I'm not cutting mine though. I'm not cutting mine. Chad helped out by filling in for co-host not long ago. So if you don't know Chad over at Wolfman Goodies, definitely check him out. Dom, have you seen the Kevin one?
Oh, you're gonna need Visine.
No, I have not.
Okay, I'm warning you. Beware. Here you go.
Okay. Poor Kevin. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Now I gotta tell you who made that though. Guess who made it? It's a female that I think was in Thrift Battle as well with me.
Yvonne?
Yes, Yvonne is who made that super chat. Yeah, Yvonne made that super chat. I ran it by Kevin before I played it and got his okay. But yeah, Yvonne made that super chat. All right. Now the questions. Miss Patty says she believes it's a fairly new scam. Has anyone seen it? False tracking. A scammer sends a package to your address to create a legitimate tracking number for eBay or similar dispute, providing they delivered something. So have you heard of this scam?
I actually heard about this the other day. I set my email for Google Alerts, and one of the words I have in there is reselling, and another one is eBay. And so every day they send me the top stories. And there was this guy, he did a story about a camera deal that looked too good to be true. And so he wanted to test whether or not it was a scam. And sure enough, it was. He ordered it. It was way below market value. And it was sent via UPS, but the tracking number, it wound up actually saying that it was delivered at the person's house, but it actually wasn't. It was like delivered elsewhere. And he got caught in this mix between UPS not being willing to help him out, and but eventually eBay did refund him, but it was and he actually got through it pretty okay. It was like pretty painless, but still there is that scam going out there. And it was someone who had zero feedback as a seller. So what they do is once they get the money through the scam, or think it's going to get sent to their account, they stop their account and then they create another fake account. So I think one of the main things to look out for, to be wary of if you're buying on eBay, be careful with sellers who have zero feedback. So this would be for a seller if you're buying something from a seller.
Yeah.
Is this one regarding a buyer, or is this regarding a seller?
I think you covered it. Yeah, I think this would be more if we're buying versus like from a seller viewpoint.
Yeah. So
Chaz, have you heard of that one or no?
First time I've heard of that one. As a seller, I don't know about you guys. I've seen a big influx of not delivered when the tracking shows delivered. I've gotten 5 or 6 of those just in the last week. So I've been having to just validate the tracking on those up from the seller side.
I've been hearing about this about probably a month's time frame. And the odd story I heard about is that the item was showing it was delivered, but it wasn't even to the address of the customer. It was somewhere entirely different. And they kind of had the same runaround. Not too bad, but still sucks, like Don said. And the thing is, like, how do you I personally don't understand how you order something to your address, but it goes somewhere else and it shows it's delivered, but it's not your address. It's entirely different. It makes no sense.
I thought that was weird too. And apparently from the article that I read, they wound up getting it. It wound up being delivered like somewhere else in that area, but it wasn't actually obviously the person's real house. But I don't know how they pulled that off. Actually, it's very strange.
Yeah, because like from a seller standpoint, you're only protected if you ship to that confirmed address.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see how they're even getting the money, because with new seller accounts, they hold that money until it's confirmed delivered. I guess they're hoping that people won't file claims, because if you file a claim and that they see it's not sent to your address, I would think you'd be safe. It'd just be a pain in the butt kind of thing.
Yeah, I think they're also hoping that, because there's lots of loopholes with eBay's buyer protection policy. And so I think they're hoping that someone maybe just gets frustrated and gives up, because when the person who wrote the article was talking about how they're trying to troubleshoot it, they're getting like a lot of automatic responses, like not dealing with the individual person. And so, that part could be really frustrating. So depending on how much money it is, someone might just get frustrated and be like, forget it, I don't have time for this. And, I learn my lesson and just give up. So, even if a small percentage of people do that, that's one way they can make out.
All right. Chris wants to know, Dom, is your manager Daisy going to make an appearance tonight?
No, I don't I haven't brought Daisy onto other people's live show, but when she was on my live show a couple weeks ago, she did make a live appearance. And so whenever I do a live show on my channel from now on, I am going to bring a Daisy in for a live appearance. So look for that. Next time I have one, Daisy will be live. Right now, she's resting with Mrs. Primetime.
Look, I'm grinning because Tyler, I made this starfish to play with on the 3D printer, and Tyler, it just finished.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
It took 8 hours.
Oh my God.
But I was like, I want to make that thing. Okay. Anyway, but I got too happy and I tried to end it so I could get it before the show. And look, its eyeballs didn't. Because I was impatient. My fault. All right. We got a super sticker from Gold Lady Flips. Thank you so much. I'm doing my octopus now. I don't have a starfish yet. I'll do my octopus. All right, let's see. What do we have? Do you do automated offers on eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, etc.? If so, what percentage do you offer?
I don't do automated offers on eBay unless, and I don't know if other people have noticed this, but there's times where I go to send an offer to someone and they won't let me send it on specific items unless I check a box that says I will send automated offers for 7 days. So I like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll check it off. And I only put a dollar amount. So I guess they just send that same dollar amount offer then to anybody else who, comes in and is interested in the item. But so I don't do a percentage, but that's the only situation where I've done that.
Yeah, I haven't messed around with automated either. It's probably just my OCD. I like to see every single item and then give out exactly what I'm going to send an offer for a dollar amount.
Yeah.
I want to see what's in Chaz's garage. All them boxes and shelves. It's beautiful.
I'm finding old stuff that's high value. I just sold a 1998 sealed Raphael, one of the old school Ninja Turtles. It was still carded, sealed. I know Dom would appreciate that one, but yeah. So I found that. I forgot I had it and sold it for $165.
Money.
Yeah, I got some good stuff in there. I'm working through it.
The only percentage I did was 3%. I wouldn't do more. For me, I don't do more than that. I do pretty good when I do items. On offers, it all depends. Like on my mood. If it's too low, I don't.
Yeah, I use the automated. So I use it on all of them. So on eBay, I manually set it. And what I do, like the first 3 months, I do 10%. So I'll set it at 10% for 90 days to send out. And then on 3 months to a year, I do 30%. So those I set at 3 months too. So they'll cycle back to me. And once they hit the year point, which I do 50% off now to get stuff out. The ones that are older than a year, I do automatic for 1 year. If they're over a year old, because I know that's my max discount. It's the most I'm going to send out. I just let eBay send the automatic for 50% off. So we put the date we listed it in the SKU, and that's how I know and go through. So new stuff gets 90 days for 10%, and then a little bit older 30, and then I go to 50. On Poshmark, because I can't set it by that, I just do 20% off on Posh. Sent automatic. As soon as they like it, it comes out. And as a buyer, I now know on Poshmark and Etsy, I like an item and I let it sit because I want to see if a seller is going to send me an offer. And the ones that do send me a good offer, I buy from. And Etsy, I don't have auto offers, but I have abandoned cart. So if they put it in their cart and then they don't buy it, I send 20% off. And then I think I do 15% for favorited. So I do have automatic on Etsy. The only ones I don't have it, and I don't think they offer it, is Whatnot and Mercari. Dalton, I told Tyler to give Dalton a starfish. So,
and we were just sitting here playing with it, and I went like this, and I went like that, and me and him both saw it at the same time. He goes, it looks like Patrick. I'm like, we need a pink one now.
We got to make a pink Patrick. We're all having fun with the 3D printer. And Dalton is on spring break, so he doesn't have to go to bed early tonight, so he's happy. But yeah, so I use it. I don't know if Don knows. I have I'm down to 8,000 items. I was almost up to 9,000. So for me, the automated offers, like I still get a ton to send every day. I know people that don't have that many items, like they stop seeing the send offer button if they're automating it. But for me, I'm still getting probably 20 a day, because you got to figure some of them are rolling out of that 90-day period, and then the new items as well. So with that many, I find it just helps with the workload.
Yeah.
All right. Oda Lally always has the fun questions. Oh, go ahead, Dom.
No, just saying, I put the article link in the chat for that camera.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but
I appreciate that.
If anyone wants to read it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think most of us are probably buying too, and I think that honestly, that's a good rule of thumb. Like if something looks too good to be true, the majority of the time it is. And I think we should have caution when we see stuff like that. All right. Oda Lally says, if you could hire any fictional character to do your photography and listing, who are you picking? She said she feels like Sherlock Holmes would be great at finding flaws, but terrible at keywords.
I think Sherlock is a solid choice. I would go, especially since I'm a big fan of him, I would go with Doctor Who, because he's lived for so long. He's traveled through time, so he would know everything about anything vintage, which I love selling. And he's pretty much a know-it-all if you watch the show. So I'm going to go with him. And he's very well read.
He'd
also have all the latest technology too, so that's another good thing.
Yep. Like many questions get thrown my way, it's just the first thing popped in my head is Walter White. Understands supply and demand, systems, attention to detail. First one that popped in my head.
Little shady.
Couldn't quarter the market.
Yeah, he knows market, supply and demand. I'm going with Mr. Walter.
And no one would try to scam him either.
Nope.
Yeah.
In the beginning, not after his experience. I would go with Flash Gordon or the Flash. Just things will speed up, would be entirely fast. If he made a mistake, he'd catch it before I even recognize what he's doing, and have a ton of stuff listed. The Flash.
All right, I'm gonna say Mary Poppins.
Oh god,
I love it.
That listing's gonna be like 1 per 20 minutes.
Hey, but the little, and stuff is done. And then she can sing and make everybody happy around here. All right. Cindy said, Kat, last week I asked you about the pie charter on LP. Oh, how I got it. I'll share screen real quick. It'll take 2 seconds to show you guys. I have it open because it's always open. So on your list perfectly, all you do is go to the left and go to sales and analytics. And then it will pull up. I had the last 7 days, but you can pull up the last 30 days. And it'll show you the percents. Like eBay at 55% is bad for us. Normally eBay's at 80. But yeah, so just go on the left column and click sales and analytics. I have it as a favorite. You can favorite it. It's really down here. So yeah, I have it as a favorite because I'm always looking at that because I want to know what percent's coming from where, and Whatnot's getting bigger and bigger, and eBay is going down. It fluctuates throughout the year. All right. Susan says, I'm gonna interject here. Dom, is Miss Primetime still selling jewelry?
Well, she still has her jewelry listings up, and she'll add something here and there, but she's not really too active with it right now.
Not as much as she was.
No.
Susan wants to know, for those of you who sell jewelry, how often should you replace silver and gold testing solution?
I can't even answer that one because I don't do anything with that. And Mrs. Primetime, when she was selling jewelry, it was primarily costume jewelry, so we weren't really dealing with too much, gold testing or silver testing or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm not sure.
Yep, same here. I'll kick it over to Sonny.
I don't have an actual answer, but I'm just gonna go off of what little experience I do have. Is that solutions end up kind of diluting themselves, even if you don't add water or something in there, it gets mixed. So I would say probably after 3 months, if everything starts to show up that it's silver and that it's not, I would probably just get another test to come out, unless you're using Kat knows the name of the test machines.
Oh, Presidium's used for gemstones. The ones that test for silver and gold are like super expensive. I wish I could get one, but they're like really expensive. For us, we replace it like every 3 to 6 months. They say it can last like a year if you store it like 100% by the rules, which most people are not going to. You're going to have temperature fluctuations. So 3 months if you want to be really safe, but 6 months you should be good to go on that. We don't go through, like, a little bottle lasts forever. We test a lot, but it goes forever. And an easy way to do that, you could set up like an Amazon subscribe and save and set it on like 6 months so it auto shipped to you so you didn't forget. That's probably, if I was behaving, that's probably what I would do. All right, Julie said, do you think using AI generated backgrounds help to make your listings stand out, or is it better to just leave them white?
I don't think it's a bad thing, depending on how you do it. I mean, if you make it, use the AI generated background and it seems to fit in nicely with what with what the product is that you have, I think it could be a good enhancer. I don't personally use it. I use white backgrounds for the most part. However, although this is not an AI generated background, what I'm going to describe now, if I needed to use it for this, I would use it. And I'll tell you why. So every once in a while, I pick up religious statues, and I find that they sell really well when I put them with I basically put them on a table on my porch, and we have woods in our backyard, and so I capture some scene where like there's the sun coming down, and it looks very, very very much like a very beautiful nature scene in the background to match with the religious picture, and it just seems to fit. It just seems to be like a more beautiful look for the for the piece, as opposed to just putting on a white background that just kind of looks like it belongs as like part of nature in some way. And so that, I feel like, enhances it. And every time I do it, I mean, I'm sure it would sell if I put a white background on it, but every time I do it, Mrs. Primetime laughs when I show her the picture, because it just you'd have to see it. I've put it actually in some of my videos. I've shown kind of that strategy. So like if I couldn't do it because it was like the winter time and there was like a it was all snowy outside and I just couldn't take that kind of picture, because I usually do in like spring or summer, then yeah, I think like doing an AI background for that would actually work out. So I think it just really depends, because of course you could do AI totally wrong, go overboard with it, it looks cheesy and it's just making things worse. So AI, I basically look at it as a tool, and like any tool, if you use it properly, it could help you. If you misuse it, it's going to cause problems. So it could be counterproductive.
I used to fall into the camp of being very strict on crisp white backgrounds, whether it was just on our own photo booth or if we remove the backgrounds. And now I'm in the camp of, I don't think backgrounds matter nearly as much as we all were taught. And I say this because every time I look up comps, you guys probably see this too. I go to look up comps for something. We all see terrible photos that are still selling. Feet in the background. It's on a bathroom floor.
If it's good, if it's a popular item,
it does. Yeah. That's why these days
it's crazy. One picture.
Yep.
thrown in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, I just flew up to our Oregon warehouse, spent 10 days up there, and we have this whole second building we don't use. So we're launching an eBay consignment service. So I had to teach my staff, who is all Amazon, how to do eBay. And they're asking, what's the best way to do the photos? So I'm training them on photos. And that's when it dawned on me. And I told them for the first time I've ever done publicly, which is the photos honestly don't matter as far as the background goes. We see all kinds of backgrounds selling every single day, thousands of times a day. I wouldn't give too much thought into it. Now, with that being said, you want your photos to be better than the ones that are in the sold comps. But we, unless it's an item where we all know how the greens and oranges will throw off the background color on certain items, I'll do a white background remover on that. But all of our clothing is on a piece of plywood at a slant, and it's got a very light gray felt fabric to it. And then we just have a white PVC background for all of our hard goods. And I rarely touch photos after I take them these days.
It could be me, but it always, because I'm color deficient, so it always feels like red and yellow looks fluorescent. Like there's just something fluorescent about it. And I'm looking at my phone, looking at the item, and I'm like, I'm just gonna take it. Best photo that I can. For the longest time, and even a few weeks ago, I think we kind of touched up on this background for photos. And up until now, I was kind of like Chaz saying, it's only one way. And for the longest time, it was only white backgrounds. And then a few years back, eBay was saying, it's okay to use gray backgrounds. They're pushing that even at the eBay meetups and stuff. Now, eBay even has their AI generated backgrounds. And I think the important thing about this that you could do is look at it maybe as branding. If you have a set way of doing your background that could hopefully match everything. So when it stands out, somebody recognizes it's like, oh, I had a good deal on last time. Let me see what else they have. I look at things that way, not so much of just the item, but my store and my account. And if they're pushing, eBay is pushing this AI generated background, I would really want it to just have something that's unique to me and not so much of, well, I'm going to copy somebody else because I like their photo. Kind of what Chad was going with his input on it. So I would put a little bit more thought into it and not just, this one looks cool, I'm going to change it up. This one looks cool, I'm going to change it up. But with what Dom said is that a religious piece for him, his experience is that it does better in the way that he does it. And it has nothing to do with where I'm going to get off tracks right now. A religious piece, when I was in the post office, I had some customers come and they would have all these crosses and Jesus, like pictures, prints, cutouts, and taped down to the box. And I asked them, like, why do you do that? And they're like, look at the address. And I was like, okay, it's going to Mexico. And I was like, okay, maybe they're praying for this box to get there safe. They said, no, we're not praying like so much as praying for the box to get there safe. Boxes do not get tampered with if they have religious signs on it because God's looking at you. So they're not going to open it. So they'll open up with other boxes, but they won't open up those boxes. And I always thought that was funny. Dom reminded me of that with his religious feed story.
I got a box like that not long ago from a seller that did that to my box.
I got to remember that if I ship the stuff over there.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. That's hilarious. We're all going to get little cost stickers now to see it.
They had it like all over the box and had like my name. It was weird. Like I was kind of off put by it. I'm not going to lie. Like, and then inside they gave me like 50 stickers. It was just weird. I felt like I didn't feel comfortable with it. It was weird, but I'll remember that if it's going to Mexico. For me, I used to do a lot of the AI generated backgrounds, mainly on my higher dollar stuff, like my jewelry. So like my Native American, I would put like a sunset with the mountains behind it or something similar to that. I still would if I had the time. I don't. So I typically go with solid white or solid black, just depending on what the item is. Sometimes I'll do blue, but mostly solid colors just because it takes extra time to do the AI. So I used to with the higher dollar, but lately I haven't even been doing it with that. I don't know. I think some people are anti-AI, so I think it hurts you with some buyers and they think it's fake. Even with the white background, I get people, could I see a photo of the actual item? I'm like, it is the actual item. Like, it is.
So just to add on to what I was saying earlier, what the nature background with the religious piece, what I'm really pulling for there is spirituality. And like people might have like an emotional kind of feeling when they're looking at the
connection.
photo. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. I did mention I use white backgrounds, but I'll use them more for items that have like a strong color contrast, like this. That will pop more in a white background versus, let's say, if I use like a yellow background on this, it would blend in too much. But I do use a lot of wood backgrounds, especially for plaques and signs, because those would normally be displayed on a wood background. So I just put it on my table, which is made of wood. I lay all my comic books out on a wood table as well. So, and it's like Sonny said, that's like a consistent theme. If you look through my store, you're going to see everything is, every comic is photoed just like
wood
that.
grain.
Yeah, every sign is photoed just like that. Everything
uniform. Yeah,
it's uniform. Exactly.
That would be a mess for me to try and do that at this point. It's like all over the place. I'll see AI and I'm like, I haven't done that in a long time. That's an old item.
Yeah.
Guitar Missy sent a super chat and she said that eBay wiped out her entire Guitar Missy account. Does anybody know a phone number for eBay?
So the only way I know of at this point, and someone might have newer information, but to get in touch with eBay by phone is you have to go through either the app or you may even be able to do it online. Sometimes I've done it both ways, like on desktop, where you have to go to the help section and you have to put in a question and you ultimately have to tell the AI chatbot that they're not helping giving you the answer and you want someone to call you and you have to keep playing this game. And then eventually you might get lucky and they say, we could have an agent call you in like 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something like that. And then sure enough, you might get a call. And they'll tell you too, they're like, someone's going to call you in 10 minutes or so. And that's the only way in the last several years I've been able to get a call from someone at eBay. That it used to be you could just call up, but after COVID, they killed it. They don't do it anymore. No general number that I know of.
Yeah, same way I've done that. Just hop on the AI chat and I would just continuously just say rep please, rep please, rep please. And eventually they kicked it through. Honestly, the best help I've ever gotten, if it was something I needed escalated, message them on Instagram, just eBay or eBay for business. I think there was a Facebook page. I think they got rid of that one. But just the regular main eBay account, message them. And I've had some of the best help through those ones.
Yeah, back in the day, it used to be eBay for business. You would have to go. That's right. On Facebook, you would go to. But now it's the one on IG?
Yep. Just the main eBay account. I just had a bogus negative review, and I had them remove it just by going through there.
Is it eBay on there, or is it eBay for business on there?
Nope, just eBay. Yep. eBay. They've got all kinds of reps on there. Yeah. So
So try that, Miss Irma. Try Instagram.
Okay, cool.
So not Instagram and not Facebook, but I've had quick responses from Twitter or X. And I was surprised. I was desperate for one of these sales that I had that I was getting a hard time, and I couldn't remember my password. My phone glitched, my computer glitched, and I couldn't really get on. But good thing I had screenshot the information of the tracking and everything, because I was just going to use my phone at the time. I wasn't at home. And when I got home, that's when things just started getting haywire with technical issues. But when I was able to get on X, I messaged them, and I was pretty surprised. Within 10 minutes, I got a reply. And it wasn't just one time. I've done it over the past few years with just a little bit of issues that I've had. So there's options everywhere. Just because there's a platform of eBay platform doesn't mean if that's not working that you could reach out to these other places as well. And it just goes to show all these guys are saying that, they've helped. So just think outside the box. Sometimes the app that you're working on isn't working for you at the moment, but it will soon enough.
Yeah, so I would try Instagram and or Twitter /X and do that. I haven't had to call them. They called me when I had the $1,500 Chanel suit return. They contacted me. I didn't ask for that. They wanted to talk to me because it was such a high dollar amount. So that was nice because they told me what time they were calling and everything. But yeah. All right. Let me not forget to give you some. Let's do the mermaids. Here's the mermaids.
That one I've seen before.
That's Yvonne. Yeah, that's another Yvonne one. Look, I got to show you guys. I brought it out to show you. Look what I made.
Oh my gosh.
Wow,
It's
that's
a
nice.
pot. It's a planter.
Awesome.
So I don't know if I like how she looks striped. I thought it would be like more of a like color change. I'm like, she's kind of striped, but I now I know I like the file, but I might do it with a different color filament. It's all experimenting. Speaking of, Season of Life said I got my books today and bracelet sizer over the weekend. You are very, very welcome. So I've been making bracelet sizers, bracelet displays, ring displays. I bought the 3D printer for my boyfriend for his birthday, and I have like overtaken it, and he hasn't got to make very much. I'm trying not to, but that's just me. I go like head first into anything I do. And I'm like, if you don't tell me what you want printed, I already got something going. It's tied up for 8 hours. And last week I had reference books that came from a house clean out. We had some amazing jewelry and antique ones. Nice. So yeah, some people got some really, really great ones. Sonny, do you want to tell the story of where your hair is? So everybody knows?
It's not on me.
Definitely not on me.
No, I cut my hair, donated it, and it just felt right. Like it felt time where it's like I need to cut it. And when my son was in the hospital in NICU all this time that mostly everybody knows, I said it wasn't like, how do I say this? It wasn't like I'll sacrifice this for this. It wasn't one of those. It's just like a start over of something to let go of everything that I had that may have been holding on to me. That part I will say more of like a superstition, that cut my hair, let go of any things that may be holding on to us that's negative. And that was it. When I cut my hair, I didn't know what to think. It was just like a clear thought. And when I heard the there was no feelings. And I was like, this is right. And
yeah, if you didn't get upset over it. Look at Sonny with no hair.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Whatever works. I've cut mine. I don't know, like, and I used to not wear it down. So last time I cut it, I was like, it's up in a bun. It's giving me headaches. I never wear it down. Like, why do I have this hair? But now I do. Now I wear it down. So now I'm good. I don't know if you answered Miss Linda in the chat or not, Chaz, but she wants to know where in Texas you're located.
I am in New Braunfels, so right in between Austin and San Antonio.
The first time I met Chaz and his wife, he was like, we're from out in Texas. And I was like, man, there's this beautiful place I want to move to in this New Braunfels. And they looked at each other. They were like, that's where we're at. And I was like, oh, yep, whatever. You're messing with me. I was like, no, he is so jealous. New Braunfels is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in Texas. And I'm from Texas, probably by 2 hours south of them. So still jealous.
Yeah, we've been a big fan, especially when it comes to sourcing, because I can hop in the car. We don't have a lot of thrift stores because we're not a small town, but we're not big. And I can hop over 45 minutes in either direction to San Antonio or Austin, depending where I want to go source. So we've been a huge fan of this area.
We didn't go while we were in Atlanta. I posted pictures to Instagram. We met with Jasmine and Derek, the ATL flippers, while we were there and had lunch. And their son and Dalton were like the best. Like they hugged each other as soon as they saw each other, and we didn't exist after that. The whole 2 hours we were hanging out in the restaurant. They told us about some Goodwills, but I was trying hard to behave and like actually vacation this time and not like throw work into it. And I did a good job. I didn't list except for in the truck on the way there and back, because I used my hotspot, brought my laptop, Tyler drove, and I was listing. So I did that, but while we were there, I did not. I behaved. All right. Cheryl has a question for Dom. She said, not being a grader of comics, how do I learn what to save for condition? I have over 10,000 to list, and most have never been opened and are boarded and bagged. I take 11 plus images of each book.
Okay, first thing I want to advise you is to not take 11 plus images of each book. For most books, you do not need to do that. If you go to my eBay store, you will see how I do my comic books. For most of them, you just have to take a picture of the front, a picture of the side, and a picture of the back. If it's a really valuable book, what we call a key issue, or something really important happened, or a very old book that has some really key character developments in it, I want to take some pictures of the inside as well. So, I do that for some of those types of comic books. You can see all those examples in my eBay store, but just automatically taking 11 for each, I promise you it's overboard, and you're going to save yourself a lot of time not doing that. In terms of grading, what I would suggest, since most people who sell comic books on eBay are not professional graders, what you need to do is go get yourself a copy of the Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics. Now, the last version of that came out in 2021. There's a new version coming out in July 2026, so you might want to wait a couple of months for that one to come out. But the reason why that book is so helpful is because it gives detailed examples for every single grade on what type of flaws would cause the book to fall into that grade. And it just goes over and over and over. It'll show spine ticks, edge creases or tears or stains, and it will show you a certain amount of accumulation of these things is what will lead to a certain grade, for those types of flaws. And so just by having so many visual examples, it's very helpful to learn. And another thing I would say is make sure, I do this all the time, make sure that you undergrade the comic book. Don't overgrade the comic, because some comic collectors, in fact, a lot of them, are really picky, and they can get really upset if they think that the book is supposed to be, let's say, in near mint condition, because that's what you said, but it's really in very fine condition. And if you are not someone who has expertise in comic books, I can promise you that you are not seeing the same flaws that a comic collector will see when they look at the book. So I have people try to sell me comic books all the time that they just inherited or that they picked up at a storage locker. They show them to me and they say, "Oh, look, they're begged and boarded, and they're like, just happened this weekend. They're near mint. There's another," and I'm looking at them like, "What are you talking about? You don't even see all these flaws that I could see in 2 seconds." But so that's really important. So I don't even grade any single comic book as gem mint. The best I will ever say is that it's near mint. I won't even say it's mint. I will say near mint, because anything can happen in transport. A little ding can happen, and all of a sudden someone will get upset and say, "Oh, that's, that it's not mint." So I never say it's mint. So unless it's unless it's already graded. That's
yeah, I think that's a good tip for everything, though, because like us looking at it, anything with like just reseller eyes, where if we're selling a piece of glass, or it doesn't matter, even clothes, vintage t-shirt, like I put everything as good. If it has any flaw, I drop it to fair. Like I would rather under promise and over deliver, because like a flaw to them, I might not even see, and like when you're dealing with collectors of anything, they're going to be way more particular than they are if they're not, if that makes sense. All right. I looked this up because I was not aware of this. Did everyone see, as of May 13th, bidders of auctions on eBay can no longer cancel the order? And then Becky was right behind this. These were 1 minute apart, and said, how are you going to work around eBay's new no cancellation policy? So from what I see, it's just the auction thing. Is there anything else included in that you know of?
So it's just for auctions, and basically all that's really happening is that, well, there's a couple things. The main thing is that they just basically took away the automatic button that was there that the buyer could select to cancel it. That's now gone. It's not there anymore. Apparently, some people I talked to said it's been gone for a few weeks, but they just made the announcement the other day. However, what they still can do, they can message you and tell and ask you or say that they want a cancellation, and then you as the seller can go ahead and cancel it. It's just they can't automatically do that. Now also keep in mind that they still can try to return it or do an INAD and all these types of things. So there's ways they could try to get around that, but for now, at least, it's a positive step. They took that away. The only reason I would say it would not be a positive step, I think there also needs to be an exception. If someone genuinely did make an obvious crazy mistake, like for whatever reason they bid like $3,000 on something and it was supposed to be, I typed in an extra zero at the last second, and that was obviously a mistake. It was at 200 and they put in 3,000. Like that doesn't make any sense. They would have to have a way to contact eBay to resolve that or something. So, but except for that, yeah, I think it's good. It's a good move.
Anybody else? We all said this was going to happen. Dom's going to be like, and we're all just like nodding our heads. Like,
she's like, Dom goes first. I'm like, great.
Answers.
Dom's got it.
I have bid, so almost with what Dom was saying about a crazy, you upbid yourself. Say you do that. I had instances where I was bidding on items, bulk amount of items, and say it was $50, and I'm like, I'm gonna go 60 just in case because it's worth it. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, you won, and it's still at the bottom. So I don't know how that works. And I will say my trick for winning majority of my eBay bid or auctions is the last 4 seconds.
Yeah.
But that could be where they already have somebody, whoever bid before me could have it bid higher, and now I'm stuck. Like I won't have enough time to do it.
If they bid higher, yeah.
And I mean, like that Whatnot is the worst about that with like people bidding, like they let people bid against themselves, and like I see it and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it happens
and
often.
I do it too. Like I do it too when I'm buying. I'm like, because like it, you know, it's a pain in the butt. But I see it happen, and I do it myself too. So it's a pain in the butt.
For some people that might be wondering, why would you upbid yourself? One big reason I think majority of people do it that have experience on Whatnot, and they're helping out people who are starting, is they're like, hey, this item's worth it. It's at $3, but I'm going to make it $5. And $2 may not be much for other people, but it does for the person starting. And it just gives them a little boost too. And also it's worth it. You can still make a profit if it's either for reselling or for yourself.
Yeah. Gold Lady Flip says, is anyone having issues with international shipping program? I can't make a shipping label for an order to China. It's been almost 2 weeks, 3 calls to eBay, and eBay saying it's a problem with their shipping partner.
No, I've generally been happy with eBay's international shipping program, even when they switched it over to the latest one a few years ago. I have never had an issue with it. I know some people have, but I don't know. I've just been fortunate.
Yeah, same here. I've not had any issues.
Same.
I just looked. We actually shipped a bib out to China this morning, and we shipped it out with no problem through international shipping program. So I haven't either. So if any of you guys in the chat have had it, definitely let us know. I just wanted to put this up here. We've been talking about USPS and some of these post offices doing whatever the heck they want. Constance said she had a mess with the shipment of an item. All USPS, they made her buyer drive 30 miles each way to pick up this item at a post office. So Dom, I shipped a trading card, a Victorian trading card via Ground Advantage in a padded envelope. And the post office charged my customer an extra $5 in shipping and said that if it's less than half an inch thick, that it cannot have tracking on it with Ground Advantage. Like totally made up rule. That is not true. Yeah, and they wrote it. She sent me the thing. They wrote it on the package. No tracking less than a half an inch thick. And I'm like, I've shipped over 1,000 license plates like this. That definitely, like, so there are random post offices out there doing whatever the heck they want, and nobody's stopping them. You know, like it's crazy. Like, I'm glad your buyer was a good guy, because that's a situation where if they weren't, that would be very, very messy to deal with. And luckily they were. And I like to think that most buyers are overall. Honestly, I probably would have compensated them as a seller, because I know as a buyer, I would have not been a happy camper. I probably would have done something. I don't know what, but because I would have felt bad. Like, you know. This is a good question. Silver Lining Life wants to know, how are you using AI in your business?
I use it to research some of the items that I pick up. Like, just for example, I recently picked up new old stock replacement chainsaw blade, and I needed help figuring out some of the keywords to put in the listing so people could find it. And it helped me take apart the product number. It was alphanumeric, and based off of the product number, it actually helped tell me exactly what all those little parts meant and how I could use that in my eBay listing. And so sometimes I'll actually say, okay, great. Now create a title for me and create a description. And I don't always use that, but I'll take elements of it. And like I say, use it as a tool, and I'll integrate it, into what I want to say about the item. So I use it for that. Every once in a while, I'll use it as a supplement to Google Lens when I'm outsourcing. And you could attach an image to ChatGPT, and I'll ask it to tell me something about what it is that I'm looking at. And I use it on my social media, like on my Facebook Primetime Treasure Hunter page. I do a lot of funny, creative things with AI there. Like I put myself in all these crazy, weird scenes every morning to give people a laugh to start the day. So, today was reach as high as you can day. So there's a picture of me as a superhero, and I go grab a bottle of Mountain Dew off the top of a building and I bring it down to someone. It's like super thirsty. So it's technically part of my business because it's a Facebook page that's monetized. So I don't really use it for thumbnails anymore. I experimented with that a little bit in the past for YouTube, but now that I'm back to estate sales, generally the best thumbnails for me are just a good picture of the home that I'm going to go into. So but yeah, every once in a while I'll ask it to give me an idea for a title on YouTube, but and sometimes I'll take little elements of what it suggested and I'll find a way to work it in. It gives me ideas. It helps me brainstorm.
Yep, same here for all the research stuff. And I recently went from, everyone's been talking about Claude versus ChatGPT. I've been using GPT for the last year and a half. So all the research stuff right there, if I find a brand, I'll ask it, hey, what are the comps on this? And then I'll take it one step further and ask it, okay, give me the whole history of this brand. Give me all the top type of items that they sell, the high dollar stuff. And so I don't just research the item, I research the brand if I've never heard about it. And that's just building the memory bank up here every time I go out. But recently switched over to Claude because it now has coding in there. And so I was able to drop not only my virtual assistants, but I was able to drop the software I was using for AI listing, because I now have it building me an app where I can drop my photos into it and it will directly into eBay create my listings for me, and it pushes them out live. So that if you want to go down that rabbit trail, highly recommend it. Get Claude, start playing around with it, and then you will need to.
Is that something you pay for, Chaz?
I pay, it's like 20 something a month.
Okay, so it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. They have a free version. I don't know if it does all the fancy stuff. But in there, there's also a co-work section where it can get access to your computer and can do everything on your computer that you can do. So I'm currently playing around with building a repricer. So I'm tweaking around with a couple different ideas. But I did have it build the app, which has been pretty successful, where I just drop my photos in there, just like all the AI listers do, but I don't have to pay 50 cents a piece anymore, especially because on heavy months, we list about 800 items per month. So that, $400 a month for a lister has been expensive. So I've successfully been able to pull that off. And if you want to play with it, you will need to apply on the developer side of eBay. So you can get your API keys, and that's how you can go in there as a software company now and start building.
Okay, say that again. I got to write this down. You got to what?
So you can't just tell Claude, here's photos, go list them on my eBay account. You have to apply to the developer side of eBay. So I forget what the exact website is, but developer.ebay.com or whatever it is. Just anyone can do it. Just apply. Took about 12 hours to get accepted. And that's just saying, hey, I have a software. I want to integrate with the back end of my eBay account. It will give you something called API keys. You copy that, give it to Claude. Now Claude has direct access to the back end of your eBay account. And that's where you can start playing around building some fun stuff. So I currently did the listing process, has gotten down. I saved myself money and time. And from there, I'm working on building out a little bit of a repricer, see if I can hack that together. And I've got a couple other things I'm poking at in my free time.
I wonder if you could, I would assume that you could use it to do something similar for like Facebook and Instagram, right?
In theory, yeah, you can. I mean, Claude is crazy what it can do. You guys can go down the rabbit trail, look up all the different stuff. But a lot of these big tech, I know the tech, I've been just randomly on TikTok seeing what other people are building. And they're basically people that have these tech jobs. They're chilling on their couch with 2 hours of real work because Claude is doing the rest of it in their shift. It's wild. So I'm currently playing around with everything I touch, my goal this year, everything I touch when it comes to reselling, unless it's sourcing, I want to get that outsourced, whether it's through AI, virtual assistants, or staff. I want to be able to get my hands off of every aspect of it, but still have the account growing. So that's what I've been working on.
That's smart.
AI has been really fun lately. And like Chaz was saying, there's a lot of information you could get from it, and you want it for the memory bank, but you could also save it any way you want to. There's portions on the bottom of, say, ChatGPT, if you could give it a thumbs up and it says like, oh, I'm understanding you like this or you don't like this part, and it'll ask you why. When I do some research on items, I forget what specific one, but ChatGPT asked me what item of this that you're talking about, because there's different versions, and it found that it was actually a more rarer piece and more valuable, and it even advised me not to lower the price for my vintage booth. And that's what I've been working on more than anything, is my vintage booth lately, and it's been helping me with the low, mid, and high range tiers. I went to the Goodwill or something about a month ago, about 10 minutes in, and I found 2 packs of stickers, and they had all these different names. And I took a picture of it, and I just said, let me see what comes up on ChatGPT, because usually we do Google Lens, right? And Google Lens AI will give you some information, but it'll also throw you way off, and it makes it seem like it's one thing and not what it actually is. So on ChatGPT, I said I found these 2 bags of stickers, and I put the name in there, and it was $3.99 per bag, and it was around, I think, 20 packs of stickers. And immediately it did the numbers of, this is what you could do if you want to sell it for top dollar, $10, either on eBay. It's going to be a longer sell. If you put in your booth, say $5, if you're willing to do that, multiply times how many you got. And I said, I'm going to go with the option that I chose, and just let me see how it goes out. First 2 days, I sold 4 packs for $5 each. I bought those 2 packs, around 60 something of them in total, and multiple ones. And it even said, if you have multiple items, remove them, so it's not one of those things, well, I got Dom and I got Kat and I got Chaz stickers, 3 of them, I'll just wait till next time because he got multiple. I remove those, and I just go and replace them when I come back, and it gives you all that information. And many people may know this stuff already, but sometimes we're so busy we don't know, but we do have enough time to research, say like this, that it's a good refresher and a good reminder to make better business decisions. And it's freaking amazing. I could go back, say tomorrow, I say, hey, remember those stickers I got, in case I just closed out of my app? I said, yeah, and it'll give me the breakdown, and I'll ask him more questions. So you could really dive deep into it, and you could save the information. I got mine connected to Google, so when I open it up, it recognizes how I talk, what I am, and when I try to go push myself to be a little bit more open, it tells me, this is not your soft-spoken storytelling style. I like it, but we're going to tweak it. And if you don't like it, we can stick to what you want. So it's a very friendly, and I like it. I appreciate it a lot. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so I've been using Gemini as my main one because it will read like the website page that I'm on, and I primarily use it for customer service since I'm not great at that. So like responding to customers, and it has saved me. Like some people that I want to tell them to jump off a bridge, they end up thanking me, and I'm like, if I would have wrote what I wanted to write, I'd have negative feedback right now. So I use AI for customer service a lot. I've taught my employees to do that as well. Gemini will pull it up, and it's cool because it'll put their name and everything. Hey, Mary, so sorry, blah, 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 blah. Like it reads the page. For lowball offers, same thing. Like I want to be like, what the hell? It'll, especially, I've been getting them on Etsy lately, and it's driving me crazy because I'm not used to it. But same thing, it'll say, this is currently part of a 20% off sale. It's new inventory. Normally we only do 10. So our max discount is the price that's listed on sale. It is great for that, especially like for me with my employee. Like I tell her, like, type it in Gemini, write what we want to write, and then I type refine. That's all I write, refine. And it'll be like, okay, you're a little harsh, but it tells me that a lot. And I got my question, and I don't know if anybody knows. So like with like Claude, ChatGPT does not like me. It freezes me out all the time. I don't know why. That's why I quit using it. Yep. I was using, what is the Twitter one?
Was it Krong? I know you said it before.
Krog.
Oh,
I don't know. I was using that, but then then Grok. Yeah. Then I started using Gemini. Grok. But my thing, so with Gemini, if I'm on one message and then I go to another and it still has that thread, it'll mix up the messages. So I have to give it a new thread. So my question is, like, Sonny, with yours, and even Chaz, if you know, with Claude, will it remember like different conversations, or is it going to mix them up? Like, is it all just one? You know what I'm saying? Is it all just one thing? Where I'm doing one message to one customer and then another to another, and it'll intertwine them if I don't like clear it out.
Yeah, for mine, it has jumbled some of the things that I have talked about in there or tried to do. And that's why some of like the really important things that I want to like hone in on, I save it. You could go on there and you could just save it. And I go over
like
into
that,
my notes.
you can save like that section.
Yeah.
I probably can do that on Gemini too. I just need to look. I'm interested, like, if like, so Chaz, with Claude, what would you say, like, if I don't want to do coding, if I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, what like benefits would you say you would see like with Claude over the other ones, or have you seen, or is it mainly the code for you?
No, so it actually wasn't the coding at all. I didn't even know it could do coding until I was like a week into just messing with it, because I would use it for ChatGPT for everything. I mean, we've got personal life, we do homeschooling. I ran everything through there. And then even in the business, we have the prep center, we have eBay, we have social media, we have all this other stuff. And so I did have multiple different chats open all the time, but same thing, ChatGPT kept glitching out and freezing up on me. So I switched over to Claude. Way better with verbiage, with wording. So I'm a huge fan of how much that improvement was. As far as saving conversations, it's not great. And I found this out the hard way because I actually had Claude, believe it or not, to do my taxes from last year. So we have 3 different buckets, right? We have personal, we have our network prep business, and then we have our reselling business. And so I was dropping receipts and spreadsheet CSV files into each one in 3 different chats. We were halfway through the year. I said, cool, let's get an update. And it gave me a file. Thank God. Because the next morning I said, okay, let's pick it back up. And it went, okay, what are we working on today? I'm like, what do you mean? What are we working on today? So it didn't save that. So I found that it's way better if I tell it update memory, and it will log whatever you talked about that day or whatever current thread of conversation you're on. I'll say, hey, I'm going to come back to this later, update your memory, and it will update. But it doesn't do it automatically all the time. So use caution.
I'm gonna make notes. And then we also, like Dom was saying, I don't do like the funny stuff like he does, but I use AI to like put like quotes on, like, we tell it, like, I like ocean themed backgrounds. Like, I just hired somebody to do social media, so I have him going through a meta course for Facebook, Instagram right now. I use it for helping with my YouTube titles, with my descriptions, my keywords, also posts for Instagram and Facebook as well. Same thing. Like, I'm not that like tech savvy, and it's cool because Gemini will tell me this is better for Instagram and this is better for Facebook. And so we can put separate text to Instagram and Facebook, because they say like Instagram's better, like short and punchy, compared to Facebook where you can write more. So we use it for that. And again, teaching my employee to use that. And I this is bad, but like, I feel more comfortable, almost like that's like a safety, that they're using that, not just kind of winging it on their own, because that's pulling from it. And it's funny because I see all the whatnot groups, and people are like, oh, I'm not going in if it's an AI generated thumbnail, which, like, I don't get, like, I don't understand that. You know, a lot of us aren't designers. We're not tech savvy. Like, we can't go create that. Even if we were, it would probably look like AI. Like, then you wouldn't know anyways. So I use it for all of my whatnot thumbnails. I use Canva AI for it. And I can tell it though, like, it like any little change. So like license plates, it does license plates around the outside, and I can say like make them older license plates or make them rusty license plate, whatever I want. So I think that's good, because before I would just pick a generic background and put text on it. So I like it. I think it's going to get better and better. And like Chaz is saying, like if it's saving you time and money, that's why I was asking about like Facebook and Instagram, because if we could figure out a way like for Claude to like, okay, make us like 10 inspirational reseller quotes on ocean theme backgrounds. And I know there are programs that they come up in my, they're listening to me now on my phone. They're going to be on there when I scroll later tonight. But that come up and are like, oh, my friends are using Canva, but I give one code and I have 100 posts. But I still want like that safety of like me or one of my employees reading it. I don't just want to like send out, you know, and make sure it's true to my brand and something that I want to put out, and not like cheesy, you know, like I want it to be something I would say, but it's just helping me. So we'll like say, give us a question for reselling, like with shipping that people would interact with. To come up with different questions.
People would not look into your business, like say an auction, because you have an AI generated thumbnail. That's not what you're. It's not what you're buying. And I would say you ask who does graphic designs. This guy, I have a degree in it, and I will tell you the things that I want to do to create designs. I could do it, but I don't have the time for it, and I need the convenience of being with my family, because that's what I want. I'd rather do this, have fun with it. And if somebody says, oh, I don't want to look at your stuff, then you don't even have to announce it. That's like, don't say goodbye when you exit the door. Like if you don't want to enter my circle or my realm, like then you get to choose other places, you know, but you also have the opportunity to get some good deals off of us.
Don't let the door hit you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what groups are the most gossip and like drama filled?
Trust me, I know.
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
Again, being a graphic designer, just to harp on it a little bit, unless you're doing like pirate downloading accounts of Adobe or stuff, like you could get caught with that. I don't. I pay for mine, and it's monthly on Adobe, and their prices are always going up. And the programs that do things like it costs you something, you know. So I take offense to that when people are like, oh, you don't want to do this. I can. I just don't have the time. I want to be with family. And when I'm working on my business, I want to work on it and divide everything. I don't want it being like how I used to when I started eBay, where I was so desperate, I had to stay away from my wife because it was just her and I at the time. And I felt so bad about it, but I also didn't want to be in a financial burden until I got better. Then I was like, okay, now I could have family time and I could really have best of both worlds, but know that family is always first. Reselling is always second.
Yeah, no. And I mean, like for me, I'm going to go in and see, like, I don't care what your thumbnail looks like for, you know, for shows on whatnot. YouTube's a different story. Like, I think YouTube, like the thumbnail, the title, or what they're clicking. And I use AI, but I've still got my face on it, and I'm still like editing the wording, and I'm telling it what to say on the thumbnail. But I mean, you know, it's just going to get more and more. Like, I feel like the people saying that are people that like didn't like cell phones. Like, there's no house phone. Like, I mean, some people have house phones, not very many house phones left anymore, you know?
Yeah, if you use those light bulb things, I'm not coming over. I want a kerosene lamp.
Listen, I haven't, you know what? You just reminded me. I have those bulbs in my kitchen chandelier, and I've never changed them. I have it, like the first day we got them, Brooke messed with Dalton, so we put the smart light bulbs in the kitchen chandelier. And Dalton stood there, and she's like, Dalton, you can tell the lights to change color. And so he's standing there, change to green, and Brooke's behind him with like the remote, and she like changes it to green. And he's like, change to purple. And she does. So he thought like that he could just tell the light bulbs. And I'm sure there probably are light bulbs that you can do that with. But Brooke was standing behind him with the remote. But after the first day, I don't even have the app on my phone. Only my daughter does. I've never done anything with them. Ever.
Hey, can I just mention two quick things? With ChatGPT, you can create folders that are with task specific things that you want to do over and over, so you don't have to keep repeating the same command over and over. So if you're asking it to do something with a photo, rather than typing that every time, you just create a folder, you label the folder, and then next time you go in, you attach the photo and you just say, do that again, do that again, do that again, and that's it. That's all you have to write. Or you could just say again, literally, and then as long as you have a good prompt, it'll just keep doing it. So it does have that memory there in ChatGPT, and you can organize it good in the folders. One other thing that I wanted to mention, and it's not really, I guess, reselling per se, but it is something that I use AI for, and it's a little business venture that I started, in which I basically started a digital art store on Etsy called
the dogs.
Well, mostly dogs. Yeah, I can actually share it if you let me share the thing.
You can. I think you can click it. Have at it.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Share screen. I think.
Yeah, I think he's a mod.
You have to.
And then I just have to. No, I think he can share, and then I have to hit add.
Do you see it?
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Where'd it go? Yep. I'm adding it. There you go.
Yeah. So this is my store, and I basically
love it.
create all. I'll click on one. Like, this is the golden retrievers playing poker. And so and see, it has like the dog bones on there, and they're drinking, and so yeah, I have other ones on there too. Like, I just have all different types of dogs. Mostly, it's like French bulldogs and golden doodles. But I have golden doodles. I have mountain goats on there too.
Yes.
I have all different types of scenes, and I've sold 59 of these things. So
59, nice.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like $300.
It's my age.
The first year that I did it, I just messed around a little bit, and ever since January, I've been adding a new one each week. This is actually one Mrs. Primetime came up with right here.
Oh, that's cute.
Shih Tzu in Paris and stuff. So yeah, and then I got.
You're just creating the file with ChatGPT and then putting it as a digital download on Etsy is what you're doing.
Yeah, but I refine it usually quite a bit, because what it initially comes up with is, I want to tweak it. So for that,
do you tell it, or you're physically tweaking it?
No, I tell it what I want it to tweak. Every once in a while, I'll do a manual edit through Canva, but generally, I'm asking it to do the tweaking.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I just charge like $5. It's not like a huge money maker, but I charge like $5 a piece.
Yeah, but you make it once, it's done. You set it. It's auto download. You don't have to do anything. What? Yeah. Like, why not?
It's replenishable. It's cool. I don't have to ship anything, so I get a little kick out of it.
I love that you ventured away from reselling and started doing that too.
Yeah,
because I wasn't going to bring it up because it's not reselling related, but I did start using, if you're familiar with faceless AI YouTube channels, TikTok accounts, I started about 7 of those in the last few months. I'm doing this pretty much the same thing.
Are you using Claude?
So I've got, I think, 5 programs. So I'm doing combination, like one of them is facts about the human body. So if you've ever been scrolling and you see like, here's what not sleeping for 24 hours does to your body, and it like zooms in on the heart and stuff. So I've got a program for video, like motion video. I've got a program that will take text and then narrate it with a different voice, and just different ones, depending on what the project's going to be or how hyper realistic I need it to look. But I'm glad I'm not the only one that's venturing into that.
I thought I was bad with all of my.
You have a background in like physical health, right?
I do. Yeah, I was a massage therapist and personal trainer. So I've never once called myself an expert with reselling, because I'm not, but I'm pretty darn good with the human body.
So let's tap into that real quick.
I had to memorize to pass my state board exam in Oregon for massage therapy.
Oh, the muscles, man.
I had to memorize 450 flashcards. 450, not just what the muscle is, the action, origin, insertion point of 450 muscles. And it's stuck in my brain ever since, even though I haven't been practicing in like 5 years now. So I did start several, body facts style channels. I even did a dog one, facts about dogs, but it's all AI. The options to create AI business models is insane. There's too many out there. So if anyone's been curious about
monetized on any of them yet?
I got the TikTok account monetized for the dog facts in under 2 weeks. Got 1,000 followers pretty quick. So now I got TikTok shop on there, so I can review dog products and pet toys and different things like that. So there's a couple different models I'm working on. And the YouTube stuff I just kicked up, combination of like, sleep music, because I listen to sleep channels all the time for like the last year. And all of a sudden, a month ago, it dawned on me, I'm like, why am I not making this? I know how they're doing it. I just need to sit down and do it. So between sleep music, and I listen to ADHD beats. If you've ever looked these up on YouTube, different frequencies for those of us with ADHD that really calms our brains down so we can focus. I'm playing around with some of that.
I need to know. So I just got diagnosed last week with ADHD.
Welcome to the club.
And like my hyper focusing, I'm like hyper focus on stuff. Like I'm like, there's no small, and I think everybody that knows me knows, like if I go like I'm like zoom and like the 3D printer, I'm like and I'm like I can't, like I'm not doing eBay, like I'm making mermaids. And I'm like, what?
There's pros and cons.
It's it's like so crazy. So she's like, you're not crazy. And I'm like, I know. I was a nurse, I'm like, I know I have it. And I was like, the stigma and like getting diagnosed as an adult. And then my ARNP is like, just call this psychiatrist. Just call him. I'm telling you. And I'm like, okay. And so I listened to her and did it. And she's like, you're right. And I'm like, okay, thanks. So yeah. So we're trying to see, hopefully we can find some things so I can not, mine is like hyper focusing is like the worst thing for me. And then I do nothing else except for what I'm hyper focused on.
So I highly recommend, if you haven't looked this up, those with ADHD brains, this is going to massage your brain. Look up, you have to wear headphones when you do this. Look up 8D beats, binaural beats. They've even done remixes of real songs from like Linkin Park and Eminem and stuff. But the music will literally travel into different parts
like
of your
different
head.
sections.
It's wild. But those with it literally massages your brain. It's amazing.
Yeah, that is cool. I wrote it down. I appreciate that because I'm just like, and I think anybody who watches my whatnot, or really this show too, I'm like, I'm gone. Like, I'm like, what was I doing?
A few years back, it was at the Boss Reseller remix. Chaz probably forgot, but I would never forget his hands on my legs. All right.
I don't have a hard time remembering this.
So I was Boss Reseller remix. I had sold some items the day before.
I remember, yes.
And it was the first day of the Boss Reseller remix. And I said, I know there's going to be a lunchtime. I'm going to take my orders to the post office. And along the way, which wasn't very far, at this intersection, very bad area to be in, stuck in the intersection, right? Gentleman gets off of his truck and he looks around, and I was like, please don't ask me. I got to go here and I got to go here, right? And my wife was with me. They invited her to go. So she was on the passenger side. And the guy looks over and he looks down. I was like, man, is there something under my truck? So he's looking at my plates and he comes up to the window and I kind of crack it a little bit because he did look a little wild, right? And I got my wife with me. And he was like, hey, you know how it is as a veteran. And I was like, oh, like he got me. Like I got to help him now. So I was trying to push his vehicle, his truck, up the hill out of the intersection. And all of a sudden, it felt like I stepped on a bottle that decompressed. I just went flat, right? And all of a sudden, I had no oomph in my leg. And I'm like, man, I don't feel hurt. Like everything's fine, but I can't move my leg. And before I knew it, I looked down and I see blood at my ankle. And I was like, man, I busted something. Here I am, got the guy's truck out of the road, go to the store, trying to get him gas as well. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't find a canister or whatever. So I go back to the Boss Reseller remix and I'm over there limping. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And they're like, what happened? I tell them what happened. And Chaz is like, come here, sit down, give me your leg. And I'm like, dude, we're resellers, right? And we forget that we're more than just resellers. And I say it all the time, which is why I'm glad they're here so I can bring up the story. So I pop up my leg and he's massaging it, right? And there's no pain. I didn't feel any pain that day. The next day, different story. So he's massaging my calf and he was like, man, this feels like a balloon. And he's going down. He was like, yep. He was like, it's you pulled your calf muscle. And I was like, no, but my ankle is bleeding. He was like, no, that's because it's gravity. The blood just, dropped. But he was like, feel this. And he grabs my hand and I'm touching. And it just felt like a wad, like a round ball at the very top where it rolled up. And I'm just like, oh my God, man. Yeah. So that's how I remembered. I was like, the background when he brought it up, I was like, that makes sense. He knows this stuff.
Now, yeah. And I think like, oh, I was going to say, Chaz, like you saying it, like, I think most of us that are resellers, like, it's really like the whole entrepreneurial thing. Like, and we always, and I've been harping on it a lot lately because like eBay is slow. The economy is crap. You need multiple streams of income, you know, like just like I need to do it. Like I want to make like a planner, you know, like almost like a reseller planner for people that would be pertinent to what we're doing. There's just so much that like Dom doing the art, like there's all of these different things, and all of us on the panel, obviously we're doing YouTube as well as reselling. So we're already like, we have multiple like affiliates. There's just and anybody can do affiliates. You don't have to have a YouTube. Like I told my hairdresser, like my massage therapist, I'm like, if you're sitting here recommending this pillow to me, get Amazon affiliates and send me a link where you're making money on it. Yeah. Like I'm going to buy it anyways. It doesn't cost me anything extra. Like anybody can do that, especially if you're in like a customer service retail kind of thing where like you're telling somebody, go buy this $200 hair dryer, get 3% of it. Like, why would you not? You know? So I think it's all pertinent because I think the majority of us are doing a lot more than just reselling. And if we are doing it full time, I feel like you have to be, you need to be, you know, because everything's not going to be up where you want it all the time. So you need that other stuff to kind of fill in. All right. Elena wants to know how many speakers are attending my retreat in July. So if you haven't heard, we're doing a retreat July 20th to 24th. As of right now, it is me, Marsha, Gino, Sam and Adam from Jolie Flips. I've invited some others. I don't want to say who it is until they tell me yes. And then Sonny can't go because he has a new baby. I did invite Sonny. I didn't think he'd say yes, but I asked him still.
Anyways, I appreciate that.
That's
Dom,
a fair
both of you guys, if you would let me know. Let me know. Scott was thinking about it if he could come from Texas. And he said that on the show, so I can say that to Ching King because he spoke at my last retreat I did in Tennessee. And then Trish is also going to be speaking, and we're trying to see if we can get, like, if some people can't come, like Scott, if they'll do us a presentation that we could show if they have really like niche down knowledge on one thing that might be able to help. So we're hoping to do that as well. Trish is making me work though. Like my last retreat, like we did classes 8 to 5. No, this time we're doing round tables and we're doing workshops and she's going to make me work. So there's going to be a lot more involved this time. But I'm just glad I'm not the one coordinating it. Trish is doing it. But yeah, so we've got 4 or 5 right now, and hopefully we'll have a couple more too. George can't come. I asked George because George did my first retreat with me. He and I 4 years ago. But I'm hoping he'll give us a presentation because his knowledge is just incredible in the antique market. So I'm hoping he'll give us a video. All right. Carlene said, here's a question. I list primarily for my phone 99% of the time. There's no option to add a SKU number on eBay on my phone. Does anyone else do listings this way?
I list on desktop, not phone, so I can't help.
I don't list on the phone, but it's going to hide under your item specifics all the way to the bottom. On the desktop, it's right underneath your title, super easy to find, but on your mobile, and they switched that a while ago because it used to sit under the title too. So click on your item specifics, scroll all the way to the bottom. You're going to see it there.
Which I said.
Yeah. And it's hard on the desktop until you have done it once and like it stays open under the title. So it's the same way, but yeah, on the phone, the bottom of item specifics, and I'm Android. And it's there. You just have to hit see more, and it's at the it's the last thing on there. So hopefully you'll be able to find it. Carla said, I just did my taxes and I need to be better at bookkeeping. Kat, do you have any kind of discount or affiliate code for my reseller Genie? Do you recommend in pros and cons? Marcia put it in the chat. I do have a code. Paul and Faith were just on here a couple of months ago. They are absolutely amazing. I've met them in person. I do recommend it. I actually started using it. I haven't used it as much as I should because my accountant really does everything. I don't have anything I need to do in it, but I like being able to see, like, they itemize where you can see, like, especially the whatnot. It'll show you the sale. It'll show you the fees. It'll show you your net. And it's like a whole itemized list. It pulls in from Whatnot, Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay automatically. And then I linked my business card. So it'll tell me, like, here are your expenses. Here's what you've sold minus the fees. Here's your profit. So I definitely, I don't know that there are any cons because I'm just so big and I'm so much going on. I need the accountant. But if I didn't have as much going on as I did, I 100% would do them. And then it will make you all of your, like, forms that you need to give to your tax professional at the end of the year. And you can categorize, like, if stuff on my business card, it didn't know what it was, it'll give me a list and say, hey, you need to categorize, like, what this is. Like, is it supplies? Was it inventory? So I've used it a little bit and I like it. And everybody I know that uses it loves it. And I think the highest package is like $22.99 a month or something. It's really, really affordable.
Yeah, there are.
Oh, and they yell at me. You can get the 15% off if you do the annual one too. So you can buy the annual and get that 15% off an annual, and then you get like 3 months free or something. It's a lot.
They're pretty active, my Reseller Genie, on social media. Mm-hmm. I mostly see them on Facebook when I'm scrolling, and they give tutorials and tips of what they do. So it's not just the platform of go sign up and figure it out. They're actually teaching you along the way too, and TikTok.
Yeah, no, they're great. And when they were on, Paul gave like 20-minute presentation for us on common reseller deductions. So if you want to search my old podcast, Paul did a presentation right at 9. So at like the hour point is when we had him do his presentation.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I want to put this up. This isn't a question, but this does not surprise me. Patty said she was working on her listings and she found 49 formerly sold items that were relisted on eBay. I hope I caught them all. I've had a few at a time do this, but never this many. I have this happen so often. I had it happen today that we know it's sold. It's sold on eBay. I didn't relist the thing and the item is back. I've had it happen. It's multiple times a month. And I'm like scrambling customer service wise because I feel bad because I send out those offers. You know, I have those auto offers and I have so many items that I don't remember all of them. And I'm not shipping. My employee's shipping. Like it used to be, I was doing all the shipping. I was touching everything. I'd be like, oh, I don't have that anymore. That's not the case anymore. So like today, I sold an $80 sculpture and it had already sold. It sold on eBay. It got reposted somehow. I don't know how. And I ended up having to give them a $250 sculpture. I didn't have to, but it was the only thing similar to what they bought. And theirs was originally 200. I accepted 80. This one was 250. So I was at like, I'd give 50, 60% off anyways. So I'm like, that's fine. Like, I'm not arguing with you like that. I want to say it's my bad, but I feel like it's actually eBay's bad. So does anybody know like a fix? Look, Chaz is like, Does anybody know a fix? Like, I know there's one you can run to see if, like the double listings. I've done that. I don't know if you guys have. You can run, there's a checker if your listing is double listed on eBay, but I don't know of any other way to figure out if this has happened unless you know, physically, like, do you know how long it takes to look through 8,000 items and be like, I think that's sold. And I'd have to look at like, it's crazy. It's not
been dreading something like this happening for many years since I've heard about people talk about this, but I've literally never experienced it one time. Which I don't know why that is, but I just have not had it happen.
Knock on wood.
Right, I know. But I am curious. This is a follow-up. If it's happening this many times to people, what are you doing in that situation? Like, are you saying, like, are you canceling it and saying that, and the reason why, saying you don't have it? Because if you do that, you're going to get your dinged.
No, I offer them something. So like the guy spent 80, right? And I said, I'm sorry, this was an eBay glitch. This sold a year ago. I do not have this. I will offer you anything else in my store. I told him up to 110. So I normally will give them, you know, like 20, 25% on top of what they spent.
Right.
And then I'm like, if there's nothing you like, would you prefer a refund? And when they say they prefer a refund, I know everybody's telling me AI is going to get smart and stop letting me do it. But so far I can still do it. And when they say they prefer a refund, I cancel it, customer request it.
Right. Yeah, that's what you got to do, or else you're going to get nailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unlike Dom, I've had about 20 this year.
Yeah. Seriously, it's bad.
Yeah, I've got two major issues with eBay right now. One is that I will sell something, I can't find it. I always cross-check the sold filter, and sure enough, it sold 3 months ago, 6 months ago. No way I would have relisted that. I'm very OCD with our store these days because I did make a lot of mistakes in the beginning. And so that's one main issue. A second main issue, and I'm getting ready to do a full inventory audit. We don't have 8,000, we have about 4,000 items. So I'm dreading this.
We're doing it. We're still doing it. It's going to take till the end of the year.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go box by box and cross check everything, because what else is happening is the other day I had a consignment client, because we do consignment as well, reach out, and she's like, hey, can I just get an update? Like, there's some listings that are about 6 months old. I want to see, you know, do we need to drop the prices or what's going on? I'm like, sure, let me pull them up. She should have about 70 listings up, and there were 9. I was like, okay, what happened?
So they're disappearing as much as they're doubling.
And this has been a known issue for a while, and I've caught a thing here or there, but there were literally 70 listings missing. I went, oh no. And so I went and just spot checked a few items. And it's funny timing because we just moved into, we had 3 storage units. We just this week finished up moving all 3 of those into one big unit. And during that move, my wife Trista was pulling the 3,200 through 3,400 boxes. She's like, and those have been listed for 4 to 6 months. And she's like, these seem really full. Like, a lot of this is really good stuff. I should have sold by now. So I spot checked about 20 of those today. Sure enough, they're not listed. So I have to go through, and of course I delete all my photos that are that old. So I have to go through and refoto all that stuff again. So those are my 2 main issues I'm seeing with eBay. So
list perfectly. I have my bank.
So
just saying.
Yeah. Yep. So you're not alone. There are some known issues going on, and that is one of them.
I'm going to say the issues that I've had, I wasn't cross-listing. So I know it might be a bigger odds or higher odds if you are cross-listing for it to happen. And I'm wondering if it is with cross-listing platforms that,
like, these items will just be on eBay. Like, they got taken down off the other platforms when they sold. It's eBay popping it back up.
I'm just throwing like something out there, because on eBay I know I often do good until canceled. And I'm wondering if that somehow still sticks and doesn't remove on its own, and somehow it's generating it to think, well, it wasn't canceled, pop it back up.
I don't know, but it's a problem. Like, Dom, I think you're lucky because we run into it so much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't use cross listers or anything, so I have no idea.
So
I know for ours, I didn't start cross listing.
Ahead,
I didn't start cross listing till this last month. So all these ones were just direct upload. I did myself to eBay. I think my theory is anything that's automatically renewing every 30 days. I think they're just hitting that 30-day renewal and then they don't renew. That's the only thing that would make sense.
Yeah, for the ones dropping off. And there have been quite a bit, like, as we're going through, and we've only went through several hundred that's happening. LaDawn sent a $5 super chat and said eBay's new trend. She said her sold items are showing up in drafts.
Oh, whoa.
Which is crazy. Like, there's glitches in it. Like, I could see if you had like a 200 or 500 item store where you know your stuff, right? that's fine. But when you get in where you're like, I have 8,000 items, like I'm not going to remember all of, like, and some of this sold years ago. And I'm like, how the heck is it back up again? I've noticed stuff in my drafts. I need to pay attention to that. Cause see, we list from List Perfectly. We don't make drafts in eBay, and I have had stuff in my drafts. So I need to look at that. That's crazy.
Do you notice how the glitches, they never help the seller? It's never like, oh yeah, we accidentally lowered the rate that you have to pay on this category. You know, we accidentally increased your feedback score by 50. Like, it's never anything like that.
No, and it's hard when you have a bigger store like Chaz with 4,000. Same thing. Like we're out there looking. Like I had Le Creuset stuff, and I'm like, this is good stuff. Like, why hasn't this sold? And I go look, it was gone, and it was gone for over a year. And I didn't. So I list it, and they're all gone. They all sold within a month. And I'm like, oh, that would have been nice to know. And they had just disappeared, gone. It's like, and we're finding a lot of that. And we've only, like I said, we've only went through several hundred. I can imagine once we went through all 8,000, how many are going to be not listed, and then how many are listed. Like that's where it's going to be. Like, but how do we know if it is listed? Like, I'm not searching for that. The only thing, like, I don't even know. I don't know how you would do that without going listing by listing and putting your hands on those items. Like,
that's essentially my plan is box by box, check the SKU. If it's not listed, I have to pull it and redo the photos. It's called
but
job
are you
stability.
looking on eBay if it is? Like, how would you find them if they are listed and they've already sold?
Oh, for that one, yeah. I don't know on that one.
Like you'd have to reverse. You'd have to go through like your eBay listings and say, oh, this says it's an A1. Let me see if it's there. Like item by item by. It's just crazy.
Yep.
All right. LaDon. Oh, I haven't given Marcia yet. I'll give you Marcia. Here you go. And Marcia's close to 1,000 subscribers, guys. She's within 100. So give her a follow, please. We have 288 in here. I would love to get Miss Marcia. She helps me out so much and has for years. And I greatly appreciate her for doing that. All right. That's for life. Or that's life for you. I'm reading backwards. Says, I'm still new to selling. I have a question about cutting boxes to custom size. I'm not good at cutting things at all. Right now I have a piece that could benefit from being cut. But she says she's going to double box it because she's not good at cutting boxes to size. So do you have any tips for like cutting and Frankenboxing things?
Well, I use big shears that help me cut through with scissors, because you got to be careful with, if you're using a knife. I know like Lonnie from Shed Flips, he's got a good
the resizing tool. Yeah,
I use the resizing tool as well. That's a great one. But those are things where you're not at risk of cutting yourself. You're not going to cut yourself with a reseller box cutter, and you're not going to cut yourself with scissors. But if you're cutting with the blade the wrong way, you could absolutely slip and cut yourself and get hurt. So you just got to be really careful doing that. So that's what I would just tend to avoid. If you think you're putting yourself in like a potentially dangerous situation, like put gloves on or something so you don't cut your finger and have to go to the doctor. But yeah, I just use shears and generally box resizers.
Yeah, box resizer. If it's just simple, like you're having a hard time cutting straight, I do use a box cutter for everything. I'm playing a little bit riskier, but if you're having a hard time cutting straight, just cut off another piece of cardboard as your guide. Put that down into where you're trying to cut and use that as a guide to cut semi-straight. But a box resizer tool is probably going to be your best bet.
Yeah, I like to struggle hard. I remove the glue part. Like I open up a box, I fold it using the edge of my table. I use the box cutters, and it's really important that you don't cut towards yourself. You cut away and be patient. When you feel anxious, that's when things happen. All right, you're not worth hurting yourself and then having to pay more your medical bills than what you're already paying for the item itself. So just be careful doing that.
So here's your box resizer. You are not going to get hurt using this thing. It just latches onto the box, and then you just spin around. There's your cutting blade right here. You're not going to get hurt. I saw Dusty, I think, say that using plastic scissors, it takes forever. Get rid of those plastic scissors. I'm telling you, you're torturing yourself with that. Get these big, giant shears. They're amazing. You get them on Amazon, and they cut through cardboard like butter. I'm telling you. So that's another. You'll never use those plastic ones again. Trust me.
I even saw a TikTok shop ad. Have you seen the electric ones now?
Yeah,
I haven't got them. They make electric ones where you just put it right on the cardboard, just zip. So that's another option too.
True.
Yeah. Isn't that a turkey?
I might need that. Seriously.
Electric turkey knife.
And one thing that's funny is when we
talked about it.
When we hire people up at the warehouse in Oregon, anyone who's dealt with hiring staff, we have 10 employees up there. We've hired and fired about 25 to find the 10 good ones. One of the things that we have to do for housekeeping in training new people now is we have to tell them, please do not pick your fingernails with the box cutters.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
These are things as an employer, you never think you would have to tell a human being, especially one that was like 20 years older than me. But Trista looked over one day and she's sitting over there picking her fingernails. And it's like, okay, that's a new thing we have to tell people now. So be very careful with the box cutters. Do not pick your fingernails with them.
Have you ever caught them doing with their toenails?
Oh my gosh. God, it was not that. It was just fingers. That employee didn't last very long.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of going through that myself. And I'm like, and like Tyler and Brooke are like, we don't even know who you're hiring. I'm like, it's hard. It's hard to find good people. It's really,
that's a whole episode really right there.
Hard. It is very, very hard. Like everybody's worried about the whole like, should I, like, I don't know if people aren't ready. And what sucks with that is like, you pay all this money and you spend all this time to train someone to realize that they're either not capable or they're not reliable. And you've just spent all of this money into this person that is now not there anymore. And it's hard when you have them, like, it's a whole new set of responsibilities that you have like no idea. You have no idea.
Kat, someone asked me to drop the affiliate link for the shears. Is that okay?
Yeah, you're fine. Go ahead. I'm all about making.
I don't have them in my
affiliate. I don't have a shear affiliate link, so
I have like tons of shipping supplies in mine. That's pretty much all I have over there. So
I think I think I've got everything in mind for shipping except shears.
Well,
I'm like, I don't have shears.
That's your department. I'll leave that in yours.
Look at this. I have to put this up. I'm trying to catch up on the comments. Cheryl said she bought her house with affiliate income. Guys, don't knock affiliate income. Me and Sonny have this conversation. We have this conversation. Like, it doesn't cost them extra for you to get it. So like, don't feel bad because it's not coming out of their pocket. Like, they're paying what they pay anyways. Well, that's a good idea. The problem is I don't know how well like an affiliate video would do. I'd be interested in what the panel has to say. Like with our reseller channels, how, like, do you think that's too far in left field, or do you think that's something that would perform good?
What was the? I didn't see
an affiliate video. You're saying making like how to do affiliate. Do you think, do you think that would fit in? I think I did it with like different ways to make income, but I did like multiple things, not just affiliate. Like other ways for resellers. But do you think just an affiliate video, like, or would it fall flat? You know, because would the majority of people not be interested in it?
Yeah, I think the video, if it fell flat, it's because the current subscribers are subscribed for reselling, but it brings opportunity to bring in fresh eyeballs of people that don't know about reselling or haven't looked into it, but they're looking for affiliate. And then they might stumble into your other stuff and see, oh, reselling, let's go into that.
Yeah, because I'm super passionate about, like, I've had people on that have more subscribers than me that didn't have affiliates. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you have 100,000 people following you and you don't even have like Amazon affiliates. Like, what? I'm not going to name names. I have like one specific person in mind. No, it's not you, Sonny. But I mean, I could probably tell him too, but it's just like, the thing is, and like, this is what I told my employee, because I hired him for this, like, it's not costing anybody any extra money. Like, they're going to pay it anyways. Why not get a cut if you're the one that told him about it? Like, I feel it's fair. So everything I do, I'm like, and I've talked about this, like when I got my glasses last time, because the time before everybody's like, where'd you get your glasses? This time, which it was 2 years ago now, but I made sure it was a glasses company that had an affiliate program. So this time when people ask me where I got my glasses, I have a link. I'm like, here you go. This is where I got my glasses. And I mean, that's them asking me. I'm not like, oh, check out my new glasses. Like, not at all. I only used it like when people asked, and they sent me free glasses and everything. Like, why not? You know?
And the beautiful part too, I've had people ask, okay, well, let's say I sign up for affiliates. I don't want to make reselling content. You can make content, start a brand new Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, about any niche that you are into. Name any niche, go look it up on social media. There are people making content around it. Yeah, 3D printing, literally. You will find people making content around every single niche you can name, and there's going to be affiliate links to whatever they are promoting or that they use. It doesn't have to be about reselling. So I think it's worth popping a video up if people are interested, for sure.
And I mean, I'm interested, so I know like my enthusiasm about it. Like, I'm passionate about it. And like I said, I feel like I yell at Sonny all the time, because I'm just like, no, like, they're already doing it. Now, I don't do it for like stuff way out in left field. Like, my video tomorrow, though, is the lip gloss that I'm wearing. And they sent me $200 of lip gloss, and they paid me to make my video. That's my first makeup one, though. But I was messaging people at 2:00 in the morning when I read the email, because sometimes I don't sleep like I should. And I'm like, I got a makeup affiliate. Like, I was just like, that I can do. And I get asked that. So on my Amazon affiliates, I have makeup, because people that are watching me are like, what lipstick are you wearing? And I'm like, I'm putting my makeup on because people were asking, you know, why not? So I have makeup on my Amazon affiliate because I got asked for it.
And if you guys, I'll put this in here too. If you guys are doing sign up for Amazon affiliates, look into the influencer program. That's where you can go.
Scott yells at me all the time. Scott makes good money on it. I bet Dom could kill it on that.
Yeah, the amount of money I personally know other people that are making. I'm on it. I just haven't put in the work. But you just go on and you just make review videos that are 30 seconds long of any product on Amazon, and it goes onto your Amazon affiliate store.
Yeah, you don't even have to buy it from Amazon.
Nope. As long as you own it. You probably have a couple.
No, you don't even listen. You know what Scott does? Cha-ching King. Him and his wife go to hotels.
Yep.
And they will review all of the stuff in the hotel room. Like, you can review the bed, you can review the light, you can review the shower fixture. And Scott, like, I think he does like one a week, but he was pushing me to do. He did men's adult diapers. Like, because people are buying it. Like, and I'm like, Scott, when I clicked on his thing, I'm like, dude, but he's smart. Like, that's a need. That's not a want. That's a need. And your video will get cycled through, and he's or I don't know now, we haven't talked about it in a while, but he was making a pretty good income, and he just made this 30-second video one time. That's it. And like, yeah, you can anything. Like, it doesn't matter if you bought it on Amazon or not. You can go wherever. And then it's a business expense. You get to go to the hotel. Like, I'm going there to review all these products.
I know some people that will go find an Airbnb and get a hold of the owner, and they'll rent the Airbnb without needing to stay in it. They just go in for a couple hours, do their review videos, and then they're out.
That's awesome.
There's all kinds of ways to do it. And it's great. It's a numbers game. So you put up, 1,000 videos or what the big dogs say you need to be focusing on. Get your first 500 and 1,000 videos up. And it's not uncommon to start seeing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 plus per month from that.
A month. And you don't need a following. Amazon's showing it to people. And that's the thing. Like, you don't have to create any content. That's why I said, like, my friends that are like hairdressers, massage therapists, like, you're dealing with the public over and over. Like, if I was still a nurse, I'd be like, hey, let me send you a link about this cool cup I have, or pen, or whatever. Like, I think affiliates is the stuff that, like, a lot of people don't realize, like, the money's there, but it's a lot of work. So I hired someone. We're doing not so many hours a week. And I'm like, dude, and he's young. He just turned 19. And I'm like, I don't, like, that's the people I feel like I need. Like, my boyfriend's like, no, that's a kid. I'm like, I'm like, this is a smart kid. I'm like, And he'll message me, hey, what are the names of the programs we're going to do for affiliates? And he's like researching them off the clock. Like, he's very into it. He's very interested. I'm like, dude, soon as I see money coming in from it, like, I'll increase. I'll give you more hours. I said, we just have to see it start coming in. And he's only worked 2 days so far, but I'm impressed, and I'm excited finally for a new employee. Okay. Ellen said, when starting eBay, are there restrictions at the beginning of being a seller, and also for Etsy and Poshmark?
I know there is for eBay, because, you know, they want to make sure that you're trustworthy as a seller and that you're not a scammer, and they're going to limit and put a cap on the amount of stuff you could sell until you could prove, you know, yourself through through the feedback. And if you're shipping on time and if your metrics are good, then they'll increase it, and they'll also increase the value of stuff that you could sell as well, because they also want to avoid people coming on who are, like, you know, trying to just hawk a bunch of stolen stuff too, and
like we were talking about earlier with the fake delivery.
Yeah. So,
yep, pretty much same answer. I think, is it a 90-day hold for payouts?
I pulled it up. I cheated. I used Gemini. It says eBay normally starts. It says they're starting even as low as 3 items. I know it used to be 10 for some people. I think if you bought for a while, they'll give you more. It says are $200 a month until you show a pattern of successful deliveries. They will hold your funds for 21 days or 3 days after delivery until you get positive transactions. And some high risk categories might be restricted until your account is older, which I would assume is like probably like your high end Nikes, your high end purses, all the stuff that's fake. Etsy, it says, has a 3-day hold for the first 90 days after your first sale. Your funds are held for 3 days before you can deposit them, and ID verification. I get messages all the time. These platforms will ask for your ID. They do want to know who you are. That is not a scam. You need to prove it. And they said your first few listings on Etsy might go under manual review. Like, they are manually reviewing your first few listings on Etsy. And then Poshmark, it says, is the easiest. Poshmark doesn't have immediate payments for any of us. It's 3 days after delivery, or if the buyer rates your thing. But you cannot list items over $500 on Posh unless you have a track record, because Posh authenticates everything over $500. It doesn't matter what it is. So Posh is going to be your easiest, then Etsy, and eBay is going to be the most difficult. But I think if you have a buying history with eBay, they give you higher limits, I think.
And also, too, with restrictions, if you're talking about brands, just look up the Vero list for eBay. Whole laundry list of different brands that you can't
sell. Read it. Don't read it, please. It'll scare the hell out of you.
It will. With that being said, you know, a lot
just
of us
browse it, but don't let it get in your head too bad, because most of them will say, like, you can't list it as new because they don't want you to imply there's a warranty with the item.
Yeah.
Because the warranty doesn't transfer once it's through a second party.
That's right.
But you're allowed to list it as used or used like new. But if you put it as new, you'll get a Vero. But if you put it as like new, you won't. So most of them are like that.
Yeah. A lot of it will be keywords too. Like, you can't use the word Velcro, so we use hook and loop. You can't use Kleenex, right? That's copyrighted. So just little things like that.
Yeah. Patty said someone should make poly bags. She's talking about with Jesus on them for Mexico. So I just want to. Here, this is for your shipments to Mexico. Put Jesus on the back. Dear Lord. All right. This is another one statement, not a question, but Bernadette said she works in law enforcement and there's a growing number of cases with FedEx and AT&T. AT&T was hacked for new accounts. Hackers got addresses for FedEx deliveries of new phones and intercepted them. Whoa. So they knew who AT&T was sending new phones to and were intercepting them.
Dang.
So that's crazy. All right, it is 10 o'clock. So I am going to let it, that time flew by for sure. Yeah. I'm going to let everybody tell you bye, tell you where to find them. All of their links are in the description as well. And yeah, so here's Dom.
Well, I really enjoyed coming back on Kat's show tonight. So thanks for sticking with it. I have come back to putting out a bunch of estate sale content. So if you enjoy estate sale content, come over to my channel. I should have a new video up next week. I'm currently in the editing phase for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, come over to my Facebook page, Primetime Treasure Hunter. I do a lot of fun and kind of zany things there during the day, but I also do some educational stuff there as well. That's kind of how I am on social media. I just describe it as edutainment, just educational but entertaining content. So thanks for if you come by, and thanks for all of those who are familiar faces, who some of whom I haven't seen in a while and I saw again tonight. So great to be here, and thanks for inviting me back on, Kat.
Perfect. Here's Chaz.
Thanks for having me on. We're doing a little bit of rebranding, but you can find us most commonly on Instagram, which is at the Side Hustle Network. Also on YouTube as Side Hustle Network. And then we just started hammering on our Facebook page, which is Chaz and Trista. That's the rebranding because we're trying to get away from just reselling content by itself. We homeschool, we do a lot of traveling, hiking, outdoors, fishing. So we're really documenting all of it. So if you're into that, that's where you can find us.
Yeah, and I think I actually, when I posted on Facebook, guys, I linked the Chaz and Trista page.
Awesome.
So if you see my Facebook, thank Dom. Dom was the one that reminded me. So I tagged everybody's Facebook page on Facebook, and I tagged everybody's Instagram page on Instagram. And I tagged everybody's YouTube channel on a YouTube post. So everybody should be tagged. Sonny, what is going on?
A whole lot of not sleeping. A whole lot of not sleeping, but I love it.
Information is no joke, man. It is no joke.
I am on my toes, but no tension. It feels like everything you could hope for, despite everything that's happened. And so grateful, so thankful. I'll tell you, the community helped us get through the hard parts and even the small parts that we're going through with our son. And he's doing amazing. My wife is working on making a video to like officially say, hey, we're out, you know, he's home. And I'm just so happy. Like, the community is more than just resellers. I keep saying that. We just talked about it earlier. We're not just resellers. You got physical therapists. You got people who are helping other people. You got comic book enthusiasts. Like, everybody knows something. And the only way to get out from where you're at, if you're stuck, is to ask questions. Just have patience and just believe in yourself more than anything. You can't wait on somebody to come in and say, you got this. You have to believe it yourself before somebody tells you, and you're a lot closer to success the way you realize.
All right. I had to find the link and I got it. I almost forgot this, and she probably would have chopped my head off, but List Perfectly, Trish, and
there it is.
Vicky are doing a reseller road trip, and the first date is May 18th in Gainesville. They did it so it will be close to me, and I will be there. I think it's $100 a ticket. It's a whole day packed full of activities, speakers, learning. So I just posted the link in the chat. I will be there on May 18th. Super excited about that. Don't forget my retreat too. Marsha has the link for that. I had to look it up because I've been totally off grid in Atlanta. We had an amazing, amazing time. We went to 4 baseball games. Every night we were there, we attended the baseball games because it was 2 blocks away. Dalton got a ball last night, which was amazing. So and it was funny because our favorite player, he was there the first night, And then he was gone, and I looked it up, and he was on paternity leave. He had a baby. I'm like, okay, I guess that's a good reason. And then he came back last night. So we got to see him the first night and the last night, which was cool. Tomorrow I am doing jewelry out of the higher dollar stuff that Tyler picked up last week. You saw some of it last week. So tomorrow at 7:30, I'm doing it at night. I had booked the boat, and then I'm like, am I crazy? Like, I just was busy. Hey, don't invite. Listen, you're in Gainesville. I think they're having like 30 people. Just saying. But I had the boat booked, and I'm like, I'm getting back from a 5-day trip. I'm going to want to wind down. Like, what am I thinking? So I canceled the boat for tomorrow, but I'm doing the jewelry show at 7:30. And then Thursday is license plates. And then Friday is vintage linens. And I got a bunch of good vintage linens too. And then I'll schedule some more shows out. I don't have a collectible show scheduled out, which is my barn clean out. And then we hung out with ATL Flippers, who they do storage units. And now they have Tyler wanting to do storage units. And I'm like, dude.
That's what I'm going to be doing that for myself.
Yeah, we might, as long as I can, I'll go online and bid on him as long as he'll go do the manual labor and bring the stuff back. I'm okay with that. But yeah, so we appreciate all of you guys. Dom, so happy to have you back on. Chaz, thank you for coming back. Sonny, we're happy you're here. I'm happy the baby's home.
I'm happy I'm here, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The community is absolutely amazing. Like our time with Jasmine and Derek, and Jeremiah in Atlanta. I'm like, I'm in Atlanta. Like, I need to see my people that are in Atlanta. And I hadn't seen them in years since the Prison to Profit convention in South Carolina. And it's just like you saw them yesterday. You know, the community is absolutely amazing. So utilize it. I had to put this up here, guys. Guitar Missy got her eBay back because of your help in the chat.
Was that Instagram?
Was it?
I don't.
Instagram versus Twitter. Which one was it?
Who fixed it?
I'm just happy it got fixed because
that's amazing.
That's the livelihood.
And within a 2-hour time span, we have fixed it. So thank you guys so much. We could not do the show without you guys in the audience, and we will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.